2 years ago, I bought this 2018 Indian Scout Bobber. This beautiful machine is probably one of the best things that I have ever bought. Over the past 2 years, I have been solo riding to so many awesome places over here in the UK. But I've also been making some of the best memories with my group of friends too. Since my ownership, I've made ownership review videos.
Things like, is this an ideal first bike? Should I swap my sports bike for a cruiser? Should I swap my cruiser for a sports bike?
New modification installs.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
And even onboard riding videos.
I'm on the wrong side of where I want to be because I'm no way walking up that hill up there, as you can see. Not with all this motorbike gear on, no way.
But all of that now has to come to an end because I've just sold my Scout Bobber. But why? Well, I will explain later, but for now, let me take you back 2 years ago where this journey all began. So back in November 2022, I committed to doing my full motorcycle test, and I really wanted my first big bike to be something different to most things that you see out on the roads. In the past, I have owned several motocross bikes, and I've had a moped on the road when I was just 16 years old for about a year. So I have riding experience, but this time I wanted to experience something completely different. So I was hunting the second-hand market for something that looked good and a bit badass, to be honest with you. Something that has good power, comfortable enough for longer journeys, and the main thing is for the bike to be just enjoyable to ride. And I quickly came to the realization that there is so much choice on the market when it comes to buying a motorcycle compared to buying a car. Now on my search, I narrowed the search just down to 2 bikes. The first one was a 2021 Kawasaki Vulcan S. I really did like the black one that I found for sale in Blade Motorcycles in Swindon, Wiltshire. It did seem to me you did get a lot of bike for your money. And the second choice was one of the ones I was going to pull the trigger on, to be honest with you, which was a black 2018 Harley Davidson Iron 883. I really do like these bikes, and I still do. But then I found this. The Indian Scout Bobber, which is known for its unique looks, high quality parts, the most beautiful belt-driven V-twin engine which has an impressive 100 horsepower standard. It also has a very aggressive sound, loud enough to turn heads everywhere you go, put it that way. But most importantly, these machines are built for the best riding experience for the rider behind the bars. And these Scout Bobbers have forced so many people now to sell what they currently have and switch over to the ownership of one of these, and I soon found out why. Now in December 2022, I took a trip just down to Weymouth, Dorset with my missus and the dogs for a short break. And just up the road was the well-known UK company called More Speed Racing, which we took a drive to just to have a little look around. And it didn't take long, but within the hour I already found and fell in love with a matte black 2018 Indian Scout Bobber that just arrived in the night before, with only 3,596 miles on the clock. This bike wasn't even in the showroom yet for sale because it needed servicing and a few other bits sorting out on it first. Now I did notice when I had a little look around, this had some very nice little modification touches added to it too, such as these Maverick twin crusher pipes, a side-mounted number plate bracket, aftermarket front and rear indicators, the pillion passenger seat and foot pegs were added on, and it had some brown aftermarket grips which did look a little bit tatty, to be honest, but it was just another thing that I picked up on. Now this here is the actual footage when I viewed the bike, and holy shit, I didn't realise how loud this thing was until the guy that owned the shop actually started this bike up for me. Now, after a really good look around the bike, I was not leaving that place without fighting for a good deal. And I actually managed to get a really good deal at £10,000, which came with a fresh MOT, a full major service completed. They even changed the rear tyre and the grips for me for free because they were worn out. So essentially, it did feel like I was getting a brand new bike in a way. My missus just looked at me and said, "You're going to buy it, so just get on with it." You don't need to tell me twice, I did. After that, more speed racing needed to keep the bike with them for a few weeks to do all of the work that they promised to do. And in the meantime, I continued to do my full motorcycle test, which was very cold and wet weather, may I add. And then we go into January 2023. My Indian Scout Bobber was ready for collection, so me and a mate went up in his van, which again was horrendous weather on the day, but that did not stop us getting the bike. And then following on from that, on the 2nd of February, I finally passed my full motorcycle test with only one minor, which was the best feeling ever. And pretty much from that moment I got my pass certificate. This was where my riding experience with the Indian Scout Bobber really began. I purchased a new Scorpion EXO combat helmet, new Indian motorcycle jacket and gloves, followed by new Kevlar jeans and Alpine Star J6 boots. On that same day I did just under 100 miles riding just to get a really good feel for the bike. It literally took about 40 minutes riding and I felt really engaged with it. Plus building my confidence was pretty quick on it too, which then gave me the feeling of not wanting to get off of it. Just because it has very addictive power and handling, it's just fantastic. It's just a great feeling. And from there, my first year on that bike was just utterly amazing, to be honest, and I was really enjoying every moment out on the roads. I visited so many stunning locations, which you can see on my YouTube channel. I then had an image in my head of changing the bike's appearance a bit more, which meant I had to start planning what new modifications I needed, and then started buying the new parts. I uprated the headlights and fitted a prison grille along with that.
Yeah.
Nice!
I fitted a custom made seat, removed the rear passenger seat and the foot pegs. I then added a new set of Wonderkind foot pegs plus a thermostat housing cover, followed by a black and silver 6x3 inch number plate. This gave me new challenges installing the parts and creating new how-to content YouTube videos for my channel. And I also got the professionals involved too, to help me install some new custom-made Scout 20 replica tank graphics and some black front suspension sleeves, which looked great, followed by two new Avon Cobra Chrome tyres. The rear tyre was changed over to a 180 width tyre on the stock rim, definitely made the handling a lot better on the roads. Now, following on from that, I started creating onboard riding and Indian Scout Bobber review videos, which seem to be doing pretty well, with some amazing feedback from you guys, so thank you so much for that. Feel free to check out those videos in my description below, and please subscribe to my channel completely free to see more of my future content yet to come. So now let's move on to my second year. The second year was exactly the same, but I would say it was a little bit more full on with group rides, bike meets, and I even took this to various car events which attracted people over to the bike, as not many people know what the hell one of these bikes are. And people I've met over the years, to be honest, has just been crazy. The thing with the biker world is most people are such nice people, and it just makes it so worth going out to socialise with other bikers. Now, if you are just watching this video today and you haven't done your full motorcycle test yet, or maybe you're considering doing it, you really should just find a way to afford it, because it does change your life in a way you wouldn't think. So yeah, that is the main parts of my journey covered, and like I said, there are other videos on my channel explaining the pros and the cons with this Indian Scout Bobber, but honestly, this has been an incredible experience and there are more pros than cons for sure. Doing 8,000 miles in 2 years as a weekend toy certainly tells you guys just how much I have enjoyed my time with this machine. So this now brings me on to why the hell did I sell the Indian Scout Bobber if it was so good? Well, some of us all dream to get onto the property ladder in the UK, and I am one of those people. So to make that dream happen, you need to let certain things go because of the expense involved with houses. And it was definitely gut-wrenching for me watching this moment when my Indian Scout Bobber was being ridden off by somebody else. The good thing is though, the guy that bought it off of me had Harley Davidsons for years and he did really look after them. And he did have the same curiosity as me with the Indian Scout Bobber and wanted to risk having a change. And I think that's pretty much everything covered. that was my journey with the Indian Scout Bobber anyway, and I do have another bike on my channel which is still something very special too, completely different because it's a 2007 Suzuki GSX-R 600 K7 model, but it's an Isle of Man TT limited edition, which means there's only 150 of those made worldwide. I have done a recent video explaining everything about that bike, so if you want to check that out, please see that on my channel too. There is also some other videos like DIY tutorials, installing my new mods, and onboard riding videos. So yeah, plenty of things for you to watch if you do want to see more from me. That's it for me today though. I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next video very soon. Stay safe. And there it goes. Gutted.